Oh, you showing off.
Listen, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us and welcome to another episode of Books and Booze. But tonight it's going to be more books, but don't get it twisted. There is booze, without a doubt. The show just doesn't function without the two. So, welcome. Here again, my guest today is Iris Bolling. And I'm not really sure how to say what this is, but we chatting. That's all I can say for sure. So it started out being an interview because I didn't want to give away any spoilers because the book Backlash hasn't officially released until Tuesday, but a number of us have already dove into it maybe a number of times. So we gonna let it do what it do. So, without further ado, welcome Miss Iris Bolin. Tell everybody just a little bit about you, that those that may not know about you.
Well, I am an author. I was born in the cotton fields back in the day, and it's a good thing because some of us may have to learn how to pick cotton again.
Ooh, honey,
But
whole mouthful there.
but listen, and to be honest with you, because of different things that are happening, I'm a person who try to stay connected to things that's happening in our world because my stories usually revolves around those things. I am an author of 40 something books now. I have seven different series that's out there, and it's a little bit of something out there for everyone. I love writing romance, I love writing suspense, and I love writing any book that I can have people making love and I can kill them at the same time. I like stuff like that. So that's who I
Well, those who have been riding this train with you, we kind of know about that. Miss Kismet McNeil, I'm sorry if I'm chopping up your name. Welcome. You are a first time person here. Well, please do come back again. Let me tell
Yes.
you, when we come here, we have a lot of fun. We talk about books, and so if you're a lover of books, I encourage you to come back again and again and again. So
Well,
welcome.
Kismet is someone I recognize the name because she does purchase quite a few of my have purchased quite a few of my books, and I think she's also a part of my the Iris Bolin Book Palace
All
out
right.
there too. So I think she is. So I do recognize her name. Hi, Kismet.
Hey,
Thank
hey,
you so
hey.
much for coming and joining us.
Yes. Hey, Miss Veda, how's it going? How is it
Hey,
going?
Veda. Hey,
And
JB.
yep, LaShawn.
Hey, Martha, Sharon, LaShawn,
Right.
Donnell.
Everybody.
I
We
feel
just
like,
gonna get
look,
y'all
I've
up
been with
here.
these ladies so much, I feel like I know them personally, for real, for real.
Right. And we've been chatting so much about different things,
Different
so
things.
yeah, so now we getting back on track now. We in the Iris
Hey,
Bowling world.
Brenda.
Hey there, Miss Brenda Lionel. Your package is on its way. So you should have it pretty soon. And thank you so much for your patience. Um, so okay, ladies, let's just kind of get into this. Okay, so first of all, before we dive into Backlash,
Hmm.
because I feel like once we get there in that playground, it ain't no coming back from that. So if you read the book, it kind of teeters you off to the edge, and it is so much, and it's a lot of moments in there where you say, hmm, or some WTF, and I'm not talking about wine tasting friends this time. So, but we want to find out a little bit about you, Iris. Okay.
Okay.
So we know that you wrote the Heart series. We know that you wrote the Lassiter series, and then the Dunnings,
Brooks
the
family.
Brooks families.
Hmm.
So one thing we know for sure, that everything you write, there is a family element in it.
Hmm.
And I'm just so what why is that important to you? Is it by design? Give us a little bit of history about when you're writing these stories, why that element is so prevalent in all the series.
I think family is our base. Family is our strength. They're our supporters, or sometimes they are our worst enemies. But no matter what, they are our base. And I think once you know about a person's family, you know about that person's makeup. You know what kind of stock that person is from, good, bad, or indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a part of what makes that person who they are. In a number of my stories, you have some characters where their upbringing wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
They have a parent that wasn't necessarily the best. But what we come to find out as you learn each one of these characters, you learn that is part of that character's makeup. If that parent had not have been in that way, this character may not have been this way. So
Mm-hmm.
I think family is important when you're trying to um, ingratiate someone to a character. And that is really what all of my stories are about. My stories are character driven stories. So I
Mm-hmm.
want you to know the character. I also want you to fall in love with that character or care about that character one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Because if you don't, you have no reason to go on with the stories or to follow the stories. And what I found is with my stories, I've been blessed because the readers fall in love with these characters so much that I get threats when I say I'm about to end the series because that
Yeah.
series had ended. But that doesn't mean that you're going to no longer hear from those characters that you love, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to pop up again somewhere.
Yeah, and Brenda, I agree. Family first is the
Yeah.
theme she does well, and in
Thank
fact, that was the theme, the written theme in the Dunning series.
you.
All the other ones,
Family first and foremost.
hmm, yeah,
Family
and
first and
which
foremost.
which is good, and I think what we have seen throughout the Heart series, the Brooks series, and the Lassiter series is that those families or those members of those families, and it doesn't necessarily mean all blood now, because if the Hart and the Lassiters, they're one big happy family, but I think there is a grounding base for them,
Hmm.
right? So they keep each other grounded, and they're very, very dominant supporters.
Hmm.
And they have to be, because these characters are out really basically saving the world. It's saving the
They
world.
are, especially in the Gems and Gents series, which you refer to as the Lassiter's series. The Gems and Gents series,
Mhm.
they are out there protecting the world in ways that uh, we would never dream of, and we don't ever want to dream of some of the things that the Lassiter's clan has done in order to protect the country. Because
Mhm.
and our prayer is that we really do have some real life Lasters out there protecting us
Mm.
from some of the crazy things that can happen in this world.
Well, I'm always teasing you about when we're having our conversations and stuff about the things that you write in your book
I
about,
know.
the helicopter
Yes.
visit. So let me ask you this though, Iris. So say for instance, the Lassiter series, and I do believe in some places the Lassiter series or the Gems and Gin series is in some libraries, but just say if it was in the school system, would you think
Oh,
do you think the Gems and Gents series would last with everything that's going on right now? And let's throw the Heart series in there as well.
well, the hard series definitely not, because we have a black president, and these folks not having that. Um, I think with the Gems and Gents series, they would deem it to be unbelievable that these these people, because of the color of their skin, are the as intelligent as they are,
Mhm.
and that would probably be deemed unbelievable, or in some way that belittles the other folks who may not be of the same skin color in some way. And this is just my interpretation. The whole concept is for them not to be belittled. They always have to be above the fray.
Hmm.
And I think that with some of the um, um, enemies that we have in my stories, in the Gems and Jen stories, it may not go over very well with some. So I'm not sure any book that I have written would pass the muster, because I do believe in um, our Black men and women being shown in a positive light. I
Yeah.
have some books where I have some stupid ones, such as Mint. Um, I mean, we do. We have we. I give you a wide range of people who are everyday people that you could meet or you could relate to. Um, but I do believe in showing the positive, um, the progressive, the um, patriotism of our Black men and women. And
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of that.
Yeah, and you do it well. Sharon says, definitely not in Florida. We tend to agree with you,
We
Sharon.
do.
And welcome. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday
Um,
to you.
uh,
I saw the other day, um, and you're going to have to stop me when I go too far. I saw the other day where a young teacher out of Georgia was, um, they were taking disciplinary action against her because she read a book. This is fourth grade class or something like that, and they selected the book. And she read this book, and one parent decided that that book was too purple for them.
hmm.
And she's at risk of being fired. They took disciplinary action against her. I don't know if that's the only reason, but I know that's the reason that is being indicated at this point. And I think what we have to be careful about is there was a time and place where they kill us if they saw us with a book in our hands,
Hmm.
you know. And now we may not be looking at it in the same light, but that's exactly what's happening there. If there's a book that shows um, Black people in a prominent way, it's a possibility that a parent is going to be offended by that. Or, Lord help us, if we mention slavery,
Yeah.
that they're gonna have a problem with that. So for right now, I think we're in a dangerous point. Um,
And you
and
do you
when it
you
comes to reading and education, period.
yeah, and you mentioned a little bit. You have a little bit of clip in Backlash about a scenario where reading a particular book um might be banned because certain people may not want you writing it or not. And mostly I think for us, I think for you too, in what you write, because it is so informative and it's so real, it might create problems. And then I also feel like our historical, people who write historical fiction or historical romance might be also affected with that. I don't think that they would take too lightly to that too. So yeah, so we hope that it wouldn't be on the ban list, but that's exactly why I'm asking the question is, at this date and time, what do you think, if it would be on that list?
I believe that it would be. It probably will be here in Virginia soon if we don't pay attention to what's going on, as well. Because our governor here is into the critical race theory. I still don't know what the heck it is. I don't know what the woke thing is all about either. I know when we use the word woke, we was telling our brothers and sisters when they was traveling in the South, stay awake because of some things happening. I am still to this day going to tell people stay awake because there are some things happening. And you need to keep your eyes open, not just on what they're showing you, the things that you keep hearing about. You need to pay attention to things you're not paying that you're not hearing about on the media and things like that too, because it's a whole lot of things that's happening in our judicial system and in our legal system, and it is we're not paying any attention to it. And so I say stay woke. I don't care what they tell them people not to watch. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell my people, stay
Hmm.
woke. There you go.
Yeah. So Iris, so when you started you writing, obviously you started as a reader, and
Yes,
then you took the initiative to become a writer, uh, because you needed you had a voice and you wanted your voice heard. So now, when you started your journey, you started with the Heart series. At that point in time, what was your vision for your journey as far as writing?
I did not really have a vision. Remember when I sat down and I wrote the Heart series. Um, well, thank you, Martha. I hope I look good.
I
Um,
know, right? Y'all getting the after work.
well,
Y'all
I
getting the
hope I
messy
hope I
bun
look
from
good.
me.
Um,
That's my signature,
when
the messy bun.
when I first started writing, remember I was writing because they had pissed me off at work.
Mm,
They had I had gone up for this position that I had been doing for 18 months for these people and doing it well. And um, they decided that a white man would be the better fit for this
mm,
position. And that part was okay because we know those things happen. But when they sit back and ask me to train this man on
mhm,
what I do at my office, that was a bit too much. And I called them that they told me about 10 o'clock that morning. By 11:30, it had just not, settled with me. And I said, I think you need to go ahead and send so and so over here. Because I'll be leaving in about 30 minutes. By noon, I'll be leaving. You're gonna need somebody over here, and I'm not sure when or if I'm coming back. And I came home. um my son was home from school at that time, and um he about 3 days in, I was bored out of my mind. I mean, I was like, wait a minute, because remember, I'm 25 years on the job. I've been getting up and going to work every morning. Now all of a sudden I'm not going to work. And so um and I must have kept bugging him about something, I don't know, but he said, Mama, you know go sit down and write something. You always reading your books and talking about you're gonna write something one day. Today's that day. Go write something, right? And so I left him in the living room sitting on the sofa because I figured he must want to look at whatever he was looking at on TV. And I went and sat down in my office and I just started writing. And really, to be honest with you, when I looked up, I had written like 800 pages of something, and I didn't know if it was good or bad or indifferent. So on Sunday mornings, some of you know this already, but on Sunday mornings, I usually lay out roles on Sunday mornings. So I was laying out my roles, and my girlfriends come over on Sundays because they knew I was laying out the roles, right? And so one of my girlfriends came over Sunday morning, and I had just laid the rolls on. I placed mine on top of the refrigerator inside a brown paper bag so that they could rise. And then I started cooking my dinner. And so she came over, and I said, you know what? I need you to do something. I need you to read this. And so I took her back in my office because my office was downstairs at that time. And I said, read this, and I went on back in the kitchen and was cooking. And really, I forgot she was there. I didn't hear her move. I just completely forgot she was back there in the room. And I'm in the kitchen, and I'm cooking, and I look out my window and I see her car parked out there. So, oh my God, she's still here, you know. And I walked back in the room, and I said, "Are you all right?" And she just looked up at me and said, "What you gonna do with this?" I said, I'm not planning on doing anything with it. It's just a story that was in my head. So I just started, writing it. She said, you need to do something with this. And after that, um, it was something in that writing that story. It was something in it that just freed me. I don't know what, but it just
Oh, okay.
freed me. And so I actually went back to work. They were happy to see me because he had really screwed up some stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But I went back to work. But when I went back to work, I didn't care what they did, what they didn't do. You don't ever have to promote me. Even though when I got back, they said, okay, Iris, this is what we're going to do because they were scared to death I was going to sue them. But, my I had a different purpose now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My purpose wasn't about that job anymore because I knew in 5 more years I was going to be retiring from that job. When I got my 30 years in, I knew that was it for me. I wasn't going to go back. And at that time, when I went back, my whole purpose changed. Hey, Shay, my entire purpose changed. And I decided then and there that, I was going to see if I can do something with this writing thing. And that's how it started. So when I really sat down, you're right, Brenda, was a new
Yeah.
attitude.
Mm-hmm.
When I really sat down, I didn't have any focus or any purpose or anything of that nature. And I'm gonna have to be honest. I actually got my purpose from another white man, and I took my book to a publisher here in the Virginia area, and he was going through it and everything, and when he came up with the cover for it, he had JD and Tracy with the long Caucasian hair flowing down his back, and they had the palm trees and the ocean. Y'all read the Heart series?
Right. Well, apparently he did not read it.
you know and I just said, no, this isn't gonna work. And then there was one scene in particular, I don't know about anyone else, but when I see that you do not see my vision, I'm okay to walk away.
Yeah.
um and so it was this one scene where Tracy is a little anxious because JD just called and he's coming over, and she's in her office. So she goes in the office and pulls out her high curlers and she started bumping her hair. Well, he said people's not going to understand what that means. How many of y'all understand what bumping your hair means? When it's permed, it's straight, and you just bumping the ends a little bit,
Mhm.
to get a little bit of curl to it. That's it. And he said, well, no, you can say that she was hot curling her hair. She wasn't putting no hot curlers in her hair. She was just bumping the ends of her hair. And I knew then, and I stepped away from that. I said, that's not the way for me to go. And then I went and I actually took a course in self-publishing. I went and I learned about self-publishing and what had to be done. A lot of people thought I was crazy for doing that. I said, because, well, people don't buy self-published books. Self-published books are just about people who can't really write. The publishing companies don't want to touch them. I said, okay. And I just went on and did my thing. I didn't know what was going to happen and what was not going to happen, but I went on and I self-published my book, and I've been doing it ever since. And by the way, that book turned into two books because you can't do an 800-page book. So it turned into Once You Touch the Heart and The Heart of Him. And those
Now,
was my first two books.
your journey started. So you went right from writing your book to being that one misunderstanding situation to becoming a published author, self-published author, and you have not looked back.
No,
Um, so with that journey, with you being, self-published, have you what is that journey like? Like, have you regretted it? Have you wanted to be published by a traditional published book? I mean,
I
publishing
haven't.
company.
I haven't regretted it at all. I've learned a lot, and I hope that I'm showing some people and teaching some people that they can do it on their own. They don't have to wait for somebody to say you're good. You got to believe in yourself and know that what you're doing is good and go on out there and do it.
Mhm.
And that's what I did. Do I want to be published? I think so. I think at some point in time, um, being published may help with my distribution, or making me a little bit of wider berth of meeting people or being introduced to other readers and things of that nature, because there are some good things to being a published author. However, there's one holdback, for me. And the holdback for me is I don't like, I really not crazy about the idea of doing all the work and writing stories and putting everything together, and then I don't get but 10% of that book. I have a problem with that. you know,
Mhm.
and especially after being at a point where I've done it myself, and I've been getting 100% of my book. So that might be a little bit of an adjustment, for me. But the other part to that is I do know the process. I
Yeah.
understand the process. I understand the marketing. I understand the cover concepts. I understand the distribution. I understand the reach. I understand the process to a point where when I do get to get a contract, when I believe one day I'll get a contract out there with somebody. Um, I will know the process enough to know what is acceptable for me and what is not acceptable for me. Now, some people may say, Iris, that's just making it harder for yourself. Maybe so. I think it's me being an advocate for myself.
Yeah, and it's nothing wrong with knowing how the other side lives. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just, I would consider it you being well-rounded,
Right, right.
right, in your
So I
craft.
wouldn't I wouldn't say I don't regret um anything that I have done. I have things where I wish I'd known then
Mhm.
what I know now, where I would have done things differently. But just like with your family, we was talking about family before,
Mhm.
those things that I went through has made me the author that I am.
Yes.
And I am an author that um, I can I can write those stories, and then I can stir it up in the pan and put on the bacon. I can do all of those things.
Right, right, right,
We've
right.
even taken the stories and turned them into a television series.
Yeah.
So I've even been able to do that. I've been able to take my stories and do audiobook from my stories, independently. So I've done a lot. So I don't regret anything that I've done in the past. As some things that looking backwards, there's a few things I would have done differently. Yes, of course,
Mhm.
but I don't regret it at all.
Yeah. So LaShawn brings up a good question. And I think most readers, when we look at our traditionally published and our uh, self-published authors, this is a question that comes out because when we read, we wonder how sometimes they can't say this, they can't do this. So her question is, does it limit you with what you can do or say if you sign with someone else? I mean, say for instance, from you going from self-published to a traditionally published, would you still have that issue?
Probably. Um, I think sometimes, just give you an example, a publishing company reached out to me, and they wanted one of my stories. So I sent them um, the synopsis of a story that I've been working on, but I haven't published yet. And I said, "Oh, we love this. I love this. Da 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 da. Let's talk about it." And then the next time that I heard from her, she was saying, "Yeah, I really really like this concept but can we make this person this and make that person that?"
Mhm.
See, that's a no for me. And the only reason is a no with these characters is not that I can take what she suggested and write it with different characters, but when I develop characters, I've already established them.
Mhm.
So those particular characters, I mean, that was like a 3-4 book series that I've already developed in my mind. Now I can't go make my main character something else, because you feel like you can sell this better. But I tell you what, I could take this concept and I can give you a story to go with that concept that you want to do. Now
Mhm.
that I can do. But if you're going to ask me to take characters that I've already developed and do something different with them, just so that you can send me 10% of, you know,
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
10%
Yeah.
something, no, because I know that I can make 90% of something from that series that I've put together. Now I'll be happy to take your concept and make it into a story, and then you can give me 10% of that, and I'm okay with that. So to answer your question though is and I think that was from LaShawn.
Yeah, it's LaShawn.
Yeah, they do have a say, and they will go in and they will guide you. They would guide you towards what it is that they feel like will sell. And I understand that because that's what the publishing world is about. It's about selling books. But sometimes I'm not sure they have the real um, click on what people want to read.
I
Um,
always question whether what demographic are they what are they reaching out to, because I had the same conversation when Kamani was in Kamani, when they said that we wasn't purchasing books. I just knew that there was a bunch of people who were purchasing books and the stories that they were doing. I know people had problems with the covers, that they were reading our stories. So I always question what demographic are they going to? Are they pooling to get their information?
I think sometimes they think they have a pulse on something. It's kind of like um, for a while there when they did 6 Shades of Grey. Is that what it was called?
50 Shades.
50 Shades
you
of Grey.
you on the low end there.
Sorry. 50 Shades of Grey. Then everybody had to do something with the shades of gray. And to me, you know, that's what worked for that person. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for everyone.
Right, right.
And let's not minimize our readers because they read an array of things, not just um this man and this woman, they fall in love, then they break up, and then they get back together and live happily ever after. You know, they don't just read that. There's a lot of things that go into the mix of that too, and they can read that plus some other things and some other things and some other things.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and I agree with Brenda Larnell about you scooped up. But then I understand your process. You just explained to what would happen, or people have reached out to you, but then there's a different of opinion there. So here we got Pam coming in, checking in. Hey Pam.
hey Pam.
Um, and then and Shay is laughing at you and me, I guess, because I said if you 8 shades of gray. You know what Christian said, he was 50 shades of up.
But y'all know what? I did not look at the movie and I did not read the books.
Um,
So there you go.
um, yeah, and this is what we know she can do, and that's what she's been doing. Yeah. Yes, I think some people. I wasn't a big fan because of all of the limitations, but yeah, I do know a lot of people who read them.
But I think we don't have Kamani anymore.
Hmm.
But I do think that you see some people once Kamani, whatever they was eaten up by a larger company, some people begin in doing independent books, and I think a number of people, a large number of people, understand the power of doing your books independently. You can write about what it is that you want to write about. You get to select that cover that is going to represent your book. You get to decide how that book is going to be formatted. You get to decide how that book is going to be presented to the readers. um, you get to tell your story your way. And to me, That's important to me. I'm not saying that I cannot work with someone, because I can, and I have, worked with people when it comes to doing stories. So I can do that, and that's okay. And I don't mind doing that if a publisher um wanted to take me on and wanted to work with me on a project. I wouldn't mind doing that. It's just that when you take the characters that I've already developed, and because in my mind, Jordan is who Jordan is,
Mhm.
Darren is who Darren is. That's who they are in my mind. I can't go and change them. That would be like me changing Paige in One Spark of Magic,
Mhm.
changing Paige and making her Navarro.
Yeah. No,
That that
we wouldn't like that.
we
We
would
wouldn't
not
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the marketing was that was a good marketing tip how they
The
did it
marketing was
was
good.
good
Yeah, the
on
marketing
that
was
one.
good for it. Right.
Let's see. I have a selection of Kamani books. I
I
mean,
do. I
yeah,
do
yeah,
too.
we
I
all
think we all
do.
do. I think we
Yeah, we
all
all
do.
do. Um, oh, this talking about 50 Shades of Grey. They didn't read or watch the movie. Vita says she didn't either.
Mm-mm.
Uh, and the same for Pam.
Oh,
So okay,
independent does equal a freedom, but it equals a lot of work too. Sharon has said independent equals
no,
freedom,
equal freedom.
and
Yeah,
it does. It does, but it's also a lot of work, because when you decide you're going to self-publish, you're starting a business,
yeah.
and there's different aspects to that business. And I'm not saying you have to be an expert at all of them, but you do have to know something about all of them. Even if you're concentrating this on you writing, then you need to make sure that you have a good team around you, and smart people who know how to do the other things too.
Hmm.
So it independence is free. It does equal freedom, but it also equals a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah. So now let's talk about Nate Rains. So guys, if you followed Iris, you know that we met Nate Rains when he was a cop in Teach Me, the beginning of the Gems and Gen series. And then we didn't hear really too much about him anymore until she decided to flip another switch and takes us into the world of the Tyson brothers in News with Curves. And guys, let me just tell you, News with Curves still does not settle real well with me. I've read the book multiple times and I've had conversations with Iris. I remember when I first read that book, I got up and I did a JD. I'm just realizing that I did a JD. I stood in the window. Well, I didn't have my hands in my pocket, but I had my hands folded like this. And I'm thinking, like, what in the world, Twilight Zone, did I just enter into? Where did she just take me? And I was not sure I wanted to go anymore. But we had a conversation and she kind of explained to me a little bit like kind of what was in her head. So here now we are all past the News with Curves. We did entered into Aftermath. We did entered into the Sibs. Y'all, I don't have words. But anyway, let's talk about Backlash.
Before you go to Backlash, Nate Rains was actually the whole concept of Nate Rains was actually written, planned out. 12 books of Nate Rains has been planned out. Um, all before News Workers came about. And it was actually during the time that he appeared in Teach Me. The whole story of Nate Rains and his family, and why he became a police officer, it all came to me back then.
Okay, what about him? Now, out of all the people that we were meeting in the gyms and gents, because we
We
were
met a
meeting,
whole lot of people.
we met a lot of people, the dad
Right.
reports and everything. What about Nate said, okay, I need to pull him out and put him in the spotlight? What about Nate?
Nate told me.
Okay.
I know that sounds crazy.
No, no, no. We okay with that.
Okay, but Nate told me. Nate told me I need to be strictly suspense. I'm nobody's love interest. None of that. I need to be strictly suspense, right? And the only reason that news was with curves was written is because I needed a bridge. Everyone
Mhm.
knew about me writing romance and romantic suspense, right? And so I didn't want to just go from writing these love stories and go cold hardcore into doing my suspense, my thrillers, and a little bit of sci-fi. I didn't want to do that. So I needed a bridge. So News with Curves was my bridge because News with Curves was more suspense
Mhm.
than it was the romance. The romance was still there because you have Rachel and
And
Wade.
mhm.
They were hitting it, right? But it was more suspense in that story. But I knew the story that I wanted to tell because I felt like it was things happening around us and we weren't paying attention to it. And I needed to find a way to get people to start paying attention. And so Nate Raines was written out. Like I said, 12 books. I have 12 books sketched out for Nate Raines. And it was written out before News with Curves. And it started back doing Teach Me.
Yeah. And Pam, yes, Nate Raines was a lawyer
He was a lawyer.
first, and if you read let's see, News with
News with
Curve,
Curves. His
it
story started
started
in
in
News
there.
with Curves.
You figure out where his or why his transition happened. So that's in News with Curve. So if you have not read that, I encourage everybody now that if you read Backlash, you know that these breadcrumbs are starting to really pile up, and they are sitting, big piles are sitting in big blockets of stuff. So you might have to, familiarize yourself with News with Curves, and maybe go back in with
The Aftermath.
Aftermath, yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know, Sibs. Sibs is a kind of a separate entity, but now that you read back at Lash, it's not anymore. It was before, but it's not anymore.
The whole plan, my plan has always been, and you'll see it all come together in book 3, which is Convergence. But my plan has always been for Sibs to be going on one track and Nate Raines to be going on another track. And then the folks from Sibs and the pie people from Nate Raines is going to all come together. They're going to converge in Convergence, which is
Yeah,
book number 3 of Nate Raines. So it's
yeah,
going to be, that was always my trajectory on these two series and when they were going to come together. And they were always going to come together because the Tyson guys are dealing with something different, but it's just as dangerous as what Nate Raines is trying to deal with the pie folks.
right, right.
It's just as dangerous, and it's just coming from two different directions. And if you think of that party we shall not discuss, it's like they're doing the same things. They're coming at you from different directions. But what we're going to see is some kind of way these two are going to start fighting within, and
Oh,
they're going to they're going to
I
start.
think if you've seen it, we're starting to see that now. But I think we can see that track, and we can watch now. They're so close together now. We can see them coming from both directions. In Backlash, I mean, there is so much
It
in
is.
Backlash, and I feel like I wish. I don't know, maybe I'm asking for that, but I wish I could just see a bird's eye view inside your mind and how you do this, because you do it so well. I mean, like there's a lot of stuff going on. Let everybody knows that, but you do it so well. Like we can literally see it come together. You know, I really feel like the Nate Raines series, at least these three books, it would be so amazing on screen.
I
It
know.
would be
Oh, man.
so
I can
amazing.
see. I don't know if it was Shay I was talking to, or if it was Sharita that I was talking to, and was talking about some of these scenes
Yeah.
and how I can visualize them.
Yes.
I can visualize them, happening. And I know in Backlash there's a particular scene that goes on for a couple of chapters. I call it Blue Day, the
Mm,
Blue Day scenario. And people are like, oh, it's too much happening, it's too much happening, it's too much happening. That's what's happening in the world right now.
yeah, yeah.
It's exactly what's happening in the world right now. All of these things are happening all at the same time. And it's like you don't know where to look
Right. And I was
because
gonna
there's so
say
much
too,
happening.
right. I was gonna say the book did it had you it was it had you feeling so much. But you're right, the way we had to switch gears and get immersed into the different situations. We're watching Corey Vaughn, we're watching the Blue Day, and how they were taking each other's down, and
Yes.
how they were so bold in dissing Nate Raines and the uh all of that. It was a lot going on, and it was like you when they were talking about the family situation, it was like you kind of like, okay, you kind of settle down a little bit, but then you come out of that, and then now you're racing, your adrenaline is
Is
up
going
higher
again.
again.
And
um
the family stuff really is to settle down your adrenaline, but the family stuff keeps you on the edge
yes.
because you don't know who's going to go off, you know.
Right.
So the family stuff keeps you on the edge too. But it also shows you how solid of a man Nate Raines is, because Nate Raines is not only dealing with what he know for a fact is happening that other people don't know about, right? And
Hmm.
he's dealing with what's happening within his own police department.
Hmm.
He got to deal with that, and he got to deal with what's happening with his family.
Yeah, and you could tell that he's not just playing at that. He is really emotional behind that. And you know I
I'm
know
laughing
he
at Shay's
yeah.
comment. That is true, Shay. Whenever I sit down, and right now, I'm writing Siblings, which is the next book of Sibs, and the scenes literally plays in my head. And I think that's another reason why I'm good at producing when we go to take the book and put it into a movie format, is because
Hmm.
these scenes have already played in my head. I know what the characters look like. I know how they stand. I know how they don't stand. I know what the buildings look like. I know what everything. I've visualized the scenes in my mind when I'm writing them. And the lesson is that I'm ready. I can actually write it the way I visualize it. So hopefully the readers can visualize it as well.
I think we're getting there. I still stand by, if you have read this only one time, I encourage you to go back and read it a
I
second time,
guarantee
or
you
even a
missed
third
something.
time. Yeah, you risk it, because I'm on my third time, and just things are still forming. I have more questions now. So I know I'm kind of getting it, but I haven't got the whole picture just yet. And then Brenda, that was what I was just getting ready to say. The things that were going on in the Blue Day, and with the school board system and everything, those are distractions. And if we don't stay um, focused and on the right things, there we may miss something, because if you read about the Blue Day, you know that it wasn't until the third officer down that Nate said, "Hold up,
Hold up.
wait, something
It's
ain't
too
right
much
here."
happening here.
Right,
Wait a minute.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. And they were strategic too in what they did, because they had them running from north, south, east,
They
and
had them
west.
moving. Yes.
Right. And so
Yes.
it took each time it took them away from the middle, which was where their original target was for. So in real life, we do need to worry about that. Uh it has been a series to see it it has to be a series to see everything. Yeah, it
You
does.
really
Yeah, right,
do,
right, right.
because it's so much happening, and then it's so many people involved in what's happening, and they're at different levels. They're at
Right.
different levels. So you may not, a lot of people may say, well, I can't believe somebody in government, that high up in government, that's supposed to be looking out the country, would be involved in planning something like that. What the hell you think you're seeing right now that's going on in
Right.
real life? Right.
Right, right,
Right.
right.
That's exactly what's going on in real life right now.
Yeah, Darnell says be afraid when everything goes
If
quiet. Yeah.
everything goes quiet and it sounds like everything is going so smoothly now, watch
Waiting
out.
for the other shoe to drop. Hey there, Miss Prissy.
Hey, Miss Prissy, she made it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder about, I mean, his mom, definitely his sister and his brother, but I don't know about his dad. I'm really can't figure out what the dad is. I don't know what his, I would love to see what's on his head. I tell you that.
Ah, you really
Yeah.
don't.
Well, I kind of do because yeah, Miss Prissy, yeah. Um to be yes, we can. I'm not sure what that one was answered to. Yeah, she's reading it again. The heart. Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Thank you. You
Yeah,
got the hardback,
yeah,
LaShawn.
where mine at?
Yours was mailed. It's in your book mail that you haven't opened.
Oh, I haven't got it yet, so I gotta go to the post office tomorrow. So yeah.
But
So, okay, here's
wait, wait. You got to see the paperback. Brenda, I will send you one.
wait,
Um,
but okay, yeah. So let's talk about that right there, because me and Iris was talking about this, y'all. Let me tell y'all. Y'all know I have the book buddy and I got the Nate Raines journal, honey. Let me tell y'all. I didn't have enough pages. So in the book buddy journal, I have like notes. I didn't bring it down here with me, but I have note pages, not stapled, but paper clipped in there with my notes on there. And oh, and gosh, the Kindle is just highlighted up. It's just everything is highlighted with my questions and everything. So we didn't have enough pages to cover for that. We just didn't. So I don't know. We got to rethink that.
they really they were focused.
Mhm.
They were
Yeah.
precise. They planned things out. They didn't just go willy nilly. They had things planned out. And if you see what's happening, if you're paying attention to what's happening around just what happened today, you can see that they are strategic and they are determined to get their way. They are determined. They don't care how many times you defeat them over here, they come right back at you with something else over there. So they are like they are focused on what it is that they're trying to um create. And what they want is they want all of the world to live by their moral standards. They don't care nothing about yours or what you believe in or what you don't believe in. They want you to live by theirs, and they want the entire world to be like that.
Yeah, and I think Charlotte has an antidote that would work for that, but they don't want to hear that. But anyway, so let's see, Martha.
Oh,
Oh, okay, yeah,
Martha.
yep, yep, yep. Yeah,
Thank you. That's nice of you. Thank you,
yeah.
Martha.
And I think that's what we should do, if we can do those kind of things, because I think it shows those naysayers that you know, that we do care about our books and we do want these books to be, to keep coming out.
Um, um, Donnell, there is actually, let me tell you, girl, I gotta tell you about this because I learned the hard way. So they have these gel pens that are erasable pens, And this is what I use in Nate Rain's journal.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna. Yeah,
on that in the Nate Rain's journal, you can go in there with those, and when you write something and then you find out later on what you wrote that ain't quite right, you can go in and you can erase it. So that is what I did, Donnell. I had to go in and I got the erasable pen so that I would be able to write inside of my Nate Range journal.
yeah.
Because there can be some things you're gonna have to erase. Because there's gonna be some things you think is right, and then you can find out later on it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, the paperback is really, I did something a little different. I'm going to give Shay a shout out because she's the one that gave me the idea. I did a little something different in the paperback versions of the books. So,
Yeah. Now, is that also in the hard copy as well, though, too, right? It's not
nope,
in the hard copy? Okay,
nope.
now I gotta buy it.
Because the hard copies, I guess what, when I said to you guys before that being independent is hard work, there's certain things that you have to understand. When I go to do hard copies on the books, I have to get those in way earlier than
Mhm.
when I have to do the paperback copies because the hard copies take longer to print. Now, when you get the second printing of when I go to do the second printing of the hard copies, I will make that change midnight, so it is included inside of the hard copies. The paperbacks, I was able to
Get it?
make that
Okay.
change and get them printed and back to me in time for everybody to get that book by the 6th, and
Okay.
that was important to me.
Okay. Yeah, I think we all kind of doing something a little bit different, LaShawn, too. So I've used pencil for mine, especially for this one because I knew that I wasn't going to get it right the first time. So I think we and then you about need a five. You might need a five subject notebook for this series. Just the three books. I'm just
Now
saying.
remember, Nate. I want everyone to remember Nate Reigns is a continuous series. So like if you followed what's my guy with James Patterson? What's his name?
What?
Tyler Perry played him in the movie.
Oh,
I forgot his
I
name.
forgot his name
James
too.
Patterson made one of his main characters.
Yes, it was. It was the Kiss Me.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. I can't think of his name, but Tyler Perry played him in the movie. And so you know how Nate Reigns continue on Alex Cross. Thank you,
Alex
Brenda.
Ross. Yeah. Okay.
Alice Cross. So look at Nate Reigns like Alice Cross. These first three stories, you really get to learn the who Nate is, what he's all about, how he came to be um this portal for justice, because that's what Nate is. Nate is a portal for justice, and this pie situation is only going to be in the first three books because they come to that explosion in book number 3. That does not mean pie is gone. That simply means they have gone back underground again.
Yeah.
That's all that's going to mean. So, and they still have other cases. Yes, Velva, all of the books that have been ordered to date has been mailed out hardback and paperback.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. Well, wait a minute before we get that, Ola, because I have that on my list. So we will be. I don't know if she's going to answer it. And I don't even really know if it has been answered at the end of this book because that is one of the main questions that I had at the end. But we're gonna ask Iris about that and see if she can enlighten us a little bit about that because I'm totally confused on her right now.
That is
Uh
good. I am so glad because there's certain characters in here. I want you to be wondering, are they friend or are they foe?
yeah. And with Crystal, we'll get to that one. So I wanted to pause just a moment. I wanted to thank you all who subscribe to my YouTube channel. Continue to do so. because I am leaning more toward that way. So if you don't want to, miss these types of chats, I just encourage you to do so. But I want to pause a minute to do a giveaway. Right. So, Iris, I'm just going to randomly choose, go through the comments, and you're going to tell me when to stop. And this person is going to win because this is audiobook month.
Or
And
your book month.
yeah, so this is the last day of audiobook month. So I want to give away some audiobooks. And this person will get a copy of, and I think maybe two copies. Of Delaney Diamonds, Until Now, and maybe I think Until Death, because I think those are two books, you have to read them together. So Iris, we're going
Okay.
to
Let
start.
me know
You're
when you
going to tell
start.
me when to stop. I'm
Okay.
starting.
I'm going to say stop.
Okay, LaShawn,
LaShawn.
you are going to win an audio book
LaShawn, we're
from.
gonna get you in audiobooks if it's the last thing we do.
Yeah, and guys, this is another reason why I chose to do this, because it's a lot of people doing, there's a lot of authors going to audiobooks. I'm still, getting there myself, but I think this is a good way for you to start to see if you like it, and then if you don't have if you've never read an author or something like that. So this is really good. So you have won one of Delaney Diamond's audio books, LaShawn. So congratulations.
We're in for a treat with Delaney, LaShawn, if you haven't already read her, but I have a feeling you probably already have, because
Yeah.
LaShawn is one of those readers that try a little bit of
Yeah.
everybody and everything. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So cool, cool, cool. And then we're gonna do another one. This one is going to be Iris. You have some that you are gonna be you have some you have some audio books, right?
Yes, I have the Pendleton Rule that people are going to be able to win tonight in audiobook format.
Okay.
So we do have that. And then we also have um, an independent, international affair
Right, right, right.
in audiobook as well.
Okay, so let's do one of those now. You choose which one you want to give away. We'll do the same thing.
Okay. Okay.
We'll randomly choose from there. And then there also will be, after the chat, I will go and we'll do some random giveaways for those who signed up for the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So, but these are just some ones we just want to bless you guys with some of the stuff. So go ahead and
Okay, this is the audiobook for the Pendleton Rules. So you can start strolling and strolling and strolling and strolling and stop.
okay, Pam.
Pam won. Congratulations, Pam.
Pam, congratulations. And you have won an audiobook of the Pendleton Rule.
Yes.
Okay. So we will be needing some email addresses from you guys, but we'll talk about that before we get off.
Mhm.
Now, okay. So the backlash. Okay.
Mhm.
So the title, we know the title just fits, right, guys? It fits because we had the aftermath came after
News
News
with
with
curves.
Curves with
Mhm.
Alex Burnett. And so there was aftermath of that. And you kind of, if you didn't know any better, you thought you were following that. And then something happened, and then it created, now we're back for the backlash. So, okay, so I have a few questions just about the book. So
Mhm.
Iris, first of all, Crystal was one of my things. I'm like, you guys tell me your thoughts on Crystal. Friend or foe, or if you kind of have any ideas of what her end game is, because that's what I want to know. So yeah, just chime in. Tell me what you think about Crystal O'Donnell.
Crystal has an interesting backstory. And what's interesting about this is you heard the case that came out today that was ruled on yesterday.
Mhm.
That's Crystal's issue. If you read Backlash, the problem that Crystal, you don't know if Crystal is really into what these people are doing, or she's just really good at her job, whatever her job may be, because you're not sure what her job is. And in a way, she kind of tells you
Yeah,
her,
she
her
does.
job was to seek something out, and when she think that she has her job then becomes more complicated. So you just don't know where Krista falls in that question, friend or foe. And the
Okay.
other question you should be asking, friend to who and
Exactly.
foe to who,
Right, because
because you don't know.
she did make a statement in the book, and when you talked a little bit about our childhood, and she is a double agent. And again, so we don't know who she's friend to or foe to.
You
But
don't know.
what spiked me, and guys, if you have not read this, I'm sorry, because it's gonna be a little bit of some giveaways. So if you haven't read it and you don't like spoilers, might want to exit right now, because I got the queen right here, and y'all here, so I know y'all want to know. But what struck me and made me go like clutch my pearls was,
Not the clutching of the
yeah,
pearls.
because I was just like, what is going on here like that? Because okay, so you all remember um Christian Vaughn. Now, Christian Vaughn, we know through and through, he is for the cause. In fact, I feel like he had a really good idea of what was supposed to happen with that cause. I think he
Right.
was the only one who was on track with that cause. I just feel like. But then he recognized that Crystal could have been a great ally. And then when he had to eliminate himself or be eliminated because he was found out, he took that book, the manual, and he mailed it to Crystal. And I didn't really think too much about that. But then Crystal made that phone call. We don't know who she made it to, but we know where that book ended up at. So I am way off my rocker with what is going on with her.
I love it. I love it.
I
I
just
love
don't
it.
know.
I
So
love it.
yeah, and so we know, and another thing too, Iris. And I don't know if you maybe this will come. Crystal, we knew she knew had a she had a that Nate Reigns, all of the Empress kids was off,
Was off limits.
was
Right.
untouchable. But then we get why she did. She knew, she said that. But then there were a couple other people like Christian Vaughn. He knew that too. So my question is, this organization, how is it moving toward its vision, but then they also know that there is a do not touch list? And why do they care? Because it doesn't seem like they care about anything else, but why do they care?
They care because for 5 years they've been working under the radar. They've been working under the radar for 5 years to get the people in place that they needed to get in place, and be able to gain that power that they need to have. Very similar to what happened with our Supreme Court. Now that they have everybody in place, now we can go in and we can implement everything that we want to implement, right? And that's the same thing that these folks have. So the reason why they care about that do not touch list is because that do not touch list causes them problems. And that's exactly what happened. The only reason that they are in the situation that they're in now is because they went and they touched somebody they have no business touching, and they knew it. And that's why Crystal had to take them out because,
Right.
in the aftermath, because they touched they touched a person that was on that do not touch list. And that list was made up for a reason. It wasn't just they just picked names and put them on there. But then once they touched one of the wrong person, it had a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
And it just starts that organization. Just think about the people they had put in place without any detection at all, right? In the aftermath, there was no detection. They didn't know that it was going on. It wasn't until they touched somebody they had no business touching that people said, wait a minute, something's not right here, you know. And that person was Nate Raines. And thank goodness it was Nate, because he had that determination about justice. You know, he had that drive in him that I'm going to get to the answer of what's going on. You know, that's it. I'm going to get to the answer. And he was not going to give up. And then y'all touched his brother. Y'all pissed off Charlotte. Y'all done pissed off Nate. Y'all in trouble at this point. But that do not touch list was keeping them. They were strategic about everything that they did, you know, and they knew what people not to touch, because they knew what kind of interest would go into if this something was to happen to this person. They knew how much interest would go in there. So that's why the do not touch list was important. And Kristen Vaughn understood that.
So my thing too is, okay, so they understand the do not touch list. Right. Okay, so you got the PI organization, you got the government, right? And so we think is okay, so we only know about Charlotte's thing. So I'm assuming that there are other people on the government side that are on the do not touch list. But let's just take Charlotte, for instance. So back in Backlash, when they Aftermath, yeah. Back in Aftermath, when they attacked Nate's brother, Charlotte went to Crystal.
Yep. But let me back you up a little bit. Remember, they attempted to do that to Nate in News with Curves. In News with Curves. Yeah. They didn't get too far because there was somebody else, not Charlotte, but somebody else that was watching Nate's back at that time. Okay, so back in News with Curves, they attempted to do that with Nate, and it did not work, but it put Charlotte on alert.
Okay.
It put Charlotte on alert. We didn't know that at that time. Right. We knew it was something with Mama, because, you know, we know it was something, but we didn't know at that time that Charlotte was the Empress.
Yeah. So now when she meets up with Crystal and have that interesting conversation with Crystal, she mentions, like, you dare touch. And then at that point, you understood that Crystal knew what she was talking about, and Charlotte knew that it was Crystal's organization or whatever she was doing that provoked this.
Right.
And we also found out that the Empress trained Crystal. So I'm still confused as to how this whole do not touch list came about. I understand why it's there. I don't understand where it came about. So did the PI people have a conversation and just picked off and say, these are the people we don't touch?
Okay, let's make sure we understand who came up with this whole concept of what they've been putting in place for years. It was your three top people. You have Senator Rothman, who is the head of the Intelligence Committee. They know everybody that worked in intelligence. Who worked in intelligence? Charlotte did. Okay. You have Ackerson, who is the head of the Judicial Committee, which is in the House, the Congress, which is the House of Representatives. He's the head of the Judicial Committee, right? As the head of the Judicial Committee, you know all of the law enforcement people, you know all of the attorney generals, you know all of those folks who is involved on that side. And then you have Cunningham, who is your justice on the Supreme Court, right? They know the lay of the land. They know what people could cause an uproar and what people cannot. And that is why they had their list. They knew, you know, this story tells you what's happening in Virginia. What you need to understand is Virginia is just one place. They have this going on in other states too. It's just that Virginia is the focus because of what Virginia once represented, which was the capital of the Confederacy. And they feel like if once they capture Virginia, that they will be able to raise more people, more money, and more people is going to come over to their cause because they recaptured the Confederacy. And that is key.
Yeah. Okay, and then I think it was and then LaShawn says they talk about it at the beginning of the book with the three
They
men.
do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's yeah. So okay, so we got the do not touch list. We got our thoughts on Crystal. So we kind of got a number of thoughts on Crystal. We think she's down for the cause. And she's true to the cause. I'm still not so sure she's down for the cause. I mean, I think she's down for the cause, but I think Crystal is Crystal, but we'll see. Um that so okay, so guys, at the end of this book, do you feel like Nate Raines has closure for Alex Barnett?
Mm. Alex, it is funny. Alex is such a beloved figure, but he was not around long. I listen, my readers are special. Because my readers didn't have no problem threatening me if I didn't bring Alex Barnett back.
Yeah, we had an issue with Alex Barnett. It was such a tragic end, and then you left us there.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's what we didn't.
But wait, it wasn't an end. Alex didn't die until the first chapter of the next book.
Yeah, but still,
he died in the first chapter of Aftermath. He was still alive at the end of News with Curves.
That's a little bit of a gray area, but that's okay. So now we have, moving right along there. we have a number of people feel like Nate does not have closure. And I guess, can somebody chime in and tell me why? I'm interested to know why you don't feel he has closure.
Brenda said because he's still dead.
Well, yeah.
But I think what Nate now has is he may not have closure, but he now have acceptance.
Yeah.
Because he realized, and this is why Alex had to die. He realized that now there was a purpose behind Alex's death. The purpose behind Alex's death is that it opened a window to this pirate organization, and it let them know that this pirate organization exists, and it let them know what this pirate organization was attempting to do. Before Alex's death, they had none of that. None of that. So now they at least know that. So he now understands the purpose behind Alex's death.
Yeah. I was still, when he said, when Christian Vaughn died on his bedroom. I mean, why? I feel like people do things for a reason, and I think Christian was a very strategic person. He did not do anything without a reason.
He did not.
And why that whole house that he had, he's put himself in that bedroom. So I feel like he knew he was gonna die.
Mm-hmm. He did.
And I don't know if he felt like Nate would forever remember him. I don't know.
I think I think along the way, a good crop of the pie people underestimated Nate. Um, I think that um, I think that they thought he was less of a man than what he actually is. Nate could care less that Christian Von died on his floor, his bedroom floor. Just
Yeah.
like in this book, he went home and he slept for days
Mm-hmm.
in that room and could care less, And besides, he loved his home. He ain't gonna let something like that put him out of his home.
And that's what I
That's
thought when I first
that's what
read
he
that.
chose. That's where he chose to die. That's not what Nate chose to die. That's what Christian Bond chose to die. You know, but I think his purpose may have been something more. I think his purpose was to cause more of an issue or more of a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
For what his people needed to continue to do.
Yeah. And I feel like people are saying that Nate won't have closure until the pie people are eradicated, which if that happens, he will never have closure because they got
Yeah, he would,
so much work to
because
do.
that's not going to happen, because they are going to rise again. Just
Yeah.
just like, you know, just like white supremacy. For a while we didn't hear a whole lot about it. We knew the rumblings and stuff was still going on, but they were kind of underground. And then when Charlottesville happened, it was a whole nother thing. They were out full force. They rose again. And
Yeah.
each time they get sent under, when they rise back up, they're a little bit stronger and a little bit more determined. you know
Yeah. But I also think though with this one here, I think when Nate knows why Alex had to die, right? But now I think he has to deal with that serum. He has to deal with he's gonna have to deal with those siblings. And so I feel like at this point, at the end of Backlash, it's going to be more focused toward that. And then I think the administration is going to
it's going to take over.
take over the pie people
Exactly.
because at that
Exactly.
point he is I'm going to say this, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like he has gone as far as he can with the pie people.
He has, but also, as you see in Backlash, for those who have read it, you see that he still has a connection with the administration. So they know when certain things are happening, he know who to take that situation
Hmm.
to and turn it over,
Hmm.
similar to what he did in this book, because his job is to protect the city.
Hmm.
And now they have to rebuild a police force. They have to revamp how they hire people, and they have to rebuild the police force. So now his concentration has to go to protect and serve,
Hmm.
because he has uncovered, and remember, he is a detective. you know that's what he is. He is not a CIA agent or an undercover agent or anything like that. You saw, I'm not calling her name because she'll come up again. But he is, his job is to protect and serve. So he brought something to light. And he thinks now they're in a rebuilding stage. Now he's turned it over to the mayor, and he's turned it over to a different organization as well, right?
Hmm.
And now his job is to help rebuild the city and the police department. But now they're about, if y'all thought Blue Day was interesting, wait until these two entities, the Sibs people and the Pi people, come together and begin to clash.
Yeah, that is gonna be interesting.
It is.
Now Ola, get out of my head, Ola. She is right there with everything. Um, so okay, so I don't know if you can say, but I just want to know, everybody, I'm pretty sure who read this, they are excited as heck about Winnie, Daisy, and Charlotte. Just you could not have picked a better three.
Listen, do not leave out Esther.
Oh yeah, Esther. Yeah, yeah, Esther.
Yeah, these are old school, back in the 50s and the 60s activists.
Now,
They
okay,
these four women, Winnie, Daisy, Charlotte, and Esther.
we know Daisy was the police, but what was
Right?
Esther?
That hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay. All right, okay, okay.
That hasn't
So
come out
we
yet.
excited. So okay, so maybe you can ask this question. Can we expect to see more of these ladies?
These ladies had yes, these ladies has formed something outside of um the power organization and the administration. These ladies are old school activists, and what they're going to do is they're going to build the people up. They're going to start activating the people, because it really takes the communities to come together and fight against some of the things that they're going to be fighting against. So these four women, you go back to your Angela Davis days.
Mhm,
These
mhm.
these four women are they're going to activate the people. And you know how they said, I think Charlotte said to her son, you go and you do what you need to do, but there's going to be an army ready to back you up.
Mhm.
They're going to get the army.
Okay. I'm excited about that. I know we have to get through some books before we get to that, but I am so excited about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is true, Pam. A lot of people come out and they do their dirt, almost like throwing the rock, and then they go and hide, and they claim they can't find them, and so they go under, only to rise again. But hopefully, when these things happen, we're smart enough to be able to detect them the next time they come out. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I think if we're not there, so
But
that's the problem.
what we keep doing is, and what we keep doing is, when we've knocked them down and we say, okay, that's enough. Knocking them down is not enough, because all you do is, when you knock them down, you give them an opportunity to go down and look at what they did wrong, and then come back
Mhm, 'cause
stronger.
stronger.
In one of my books, one of my characters always say, you don't ever leave them so that they can come back and get you or your family or anything like that. You take all of them out, the
Well,
family,
you
all
know
of
what?
them.
It was two things in there because Joshua scolded Nate.
Nate, yes,
And so we got a clear understanding of why Joshua does what he does. We just think he's a loose cannon, but
that's right.
no, he made us understand that. And then again, there was a conversation with Turk, and he said, you don't. Everybody always thinks you cut off the head, but he said no, that's not it. You have to eradicate them,
Yeah,
and so that's what they have to do.
you have to cut their legs out from under them,
Yeah.
and then you chop off their balls, their head, and everything else.
Yeah, so hey Mary, Mary is out here. How you doing, cuz? Um so okay, let's say, oh, okay. Oh, good question, Miss Prissy. Good question. I don't know if Iris can answer, but that's a good
I'm not
question.
going to answer that question, and it's not that I don't want to. It's because I don't know.
Okay, got
It's
you.
not until I sit down, like, right now I'm writing siblings, and some people that showed up, and I'm like, perfect. But I had no idea in the beginning that they would be showing up.
Yeah. So, okay. So, all right. So, okay. So, guys, let me ask you this. I'm just got a few questions because, again, we were talking about Iris and, how she got to this whole Nate Rain series here. But, okay. Mosley, Detective Mosley.
Yes.
Do you all feel like he got what he deserved, or do you feel like he was kind of shafted a little bit? Your comments. Let me know.
Sometimes when you go and you play in the mud with pigs,
Yeah.
you'll get dirty. And some of them are going to stomp on you, and they know the ground, and they know where the danger points are, and you don't. And that's kind of where Mosley fell for me.
Yeah.
That's kind of where Mosley fell for me, because Mosley, he went out there and he got his feet dirty, and he was trying to get out of it, and that's
Mhm.
wonderful. but those pigs pulled him down with them, and then they
Yeah.
stomped him
Yeah.
and drowned him in the mud.
Well, and I feel like, like, I mean, I'm sure this happens for real. He had those two families, and when you have those two families, you're a police officer, and you're not making that much money, and so you have to be able to keep both of those women happy. And then he had children. He had more
Yes,
children with his side
with
piece
the
than he
side piece
had
than he had with his
with his
wife.
wife. So I kind of like, I felt like when he was walking to his death, I felt like he had an epiphany, and he knew what he did was wrong. He accepted that he got a second chance, and he was gonna try to help somebody else from keeping on walking down there. And then, that's what happened. So,
Yeah.
uh, I don't know. Somebody wants to know when Sibling is coming. Do you have a date for that?
Siblings is coming out in I think it's scheduled for October.
Okay, October this
October,
year.
November, one of them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true, Brenda. And but I like I said, I think he got caught. That's one thing. But then, he got a second chance, but it was just a little
A
bit
little
too
bit too
late.
late.
Yeah, for him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh yeah, he did. He did, yeah. Too late. So okay. All right. So Iris,
Yes.
so let's talk about, I mean, if you can, um I hope this is not too much for anybody who hasn't read the book. But well, first of all, before we go any further, guys, I got some more giveaways to do here. So um, I have some audio, but all these are audio books, and then at the end, there will be. I think Iris got something other than a audio book to give away, and then I have something from Custom Creations. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but you'll get something that
Well, let me say this for those who are out here. I don't know how many of you are out here right now. It seems like quite a few, but I am giving away a hardback copy of the Aftermath and a Nate Range journal to go with it to whoever goes and signs up or subscribes to Midnight Ace Book Bar. Was it 1954?
1985 and 1984.
1984. Whoever goes out there and subscribe to Midnight Ace Book Bar will have a chance at winning an autographed copy of the Aftermath and the accompanying Nate Range journal. So all you have to do to qualify is to go out there and register, subscribe to Midnight Ace Book Bar on YouTube, her YouTube channel. We're trying to get her to over 1,000 subscribers, y'all. So go out and tell your friends to subscribe to the channel as well. And every person who goes out there and subscribe, you know, I might send you a free ebook. I'm just
Woohoo.
saying.
Okay, so I am going to randomly, I'm going to close my eyes because I can't have Iris doing all the work, even though I think she's the best person to do it. But I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to scroll and I'm going to stop. And then this person is going to win an audio copy of from Sherelle Green's catalog. So here we go.
Close your eyes.
I did close. LaShawn, wait. LaShawn, you already won one. So let me give somebody else a chance to win. And I am gonna go with, let me see who's behind, who's up under you.
Poo poo, you got to go lay on the bed.
Um,
Go get on the
so
bed.
this is Ola.
Go get on the bed. On the bed.
So you are winning an
Bed.
audio copy
Bed.
of something from Sherelle's catalog. I think she has the
Damn.
Maddens and some crowns. So we'll discuss which one. If you haven't read any of them, or if you don't have any of them, I could just choose for you. Okay. And that is Ola. Just writing this down so I won't forget, because y'all know. Okay, so let's talk about the Nate Raines family.
Ooh. Whoa.
Let's talk about the Nate Raines family. So, okay. So there was some tension
Mm-hmm.
that happened.
That's what you call it.
Right. So when and also too when I'm talking about this, I want to know Brett Dolt. So Brett Dolt is really the catalyst behind this whole Pandora's box opening up, right?
Yes.
So I guess my question to you is that Brett Dolt is still here. So he started in News with Curves. He was
Yep.
in Aftermath, and he was in now he's in Backlash. So what is his purpose, if you can say? I mean, is are you we done with him?
No.
Or okay, so how far is Brett Dolt gonna go into?
Brett Dart is probably gonna go book 4, book 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he gonna be
Because
around for a minute.
that's gonna be a whole nother case
Okay,
that Nate is gonna have to deal with. As a
okay.
matter of fact, what you may do is you may see Nate step back into his role as an attorney.
I was gonna ask that.
You may see him step back into his role as an attorney.
Okay, so
Hmm.
now he threatened to kill one of the children. Now, I guess
One of
well, one of Nathaniel's children.
Okay.
Say, so my question to you is that I want to know if those kids are going to band together. Do you have any plans for them banding together and become one?
At some point, let me put it this way. What we're gonna come to find out is that Charlotte's children has a lot more integrity than Nathaniel, um,
Oh, of course.
or Nathaniel's offspring. I guess that's the way I can put it. They have a lot more integrity. They believe in family. They believe in the bond of family. They believe that you look out for each other. Um, that does not go across um, uh, to others. That does not come across in the personalities of others. I'll just put it that way. I think what you're going to find is you're going to find Charlotte's children, um, Bill and Nathaniel's child, out of a couple of situations.
Hmm.
A couple of situations. So I don't want to go too much into that because that is a part of the books to come.
Okay, okay, and that's fair enough too. So but we do know that they're still gonna be continuing to deal with Brett Doe.
They're
Now,
gonna have to, yes.
okay, so okay, so guys, chime in for this here. So I want to know, what are y'all thoughts about Charlotte's move when she came to that law office? Honey, if that wasn't like a boss bitch move, if I have ever seen one, I just want to know what y'all thoughts about that.
Listen, the
So,
one thing that we have learned about Charlotte is you have two different personalities in there. You have the Empress personality, and then you have Charlotte the mama
mhm,
um personalities in there. And as a mama, you know, I don't care who it is. If you're coming after my children in any
yeah,
way, shape, or form, you're gonna have to deal with the Empress. Because that's gonna come out. But Charlotte is smart enough to understand people, and so she hurt people where she goes at them where she know it hurts them. Everybody is not. For example, Crystal. If Charlotte wanted to kill Crystal, Crystal would be dead.
mhm,
Okay, she would be dead. But that wasn't her intent. Her intent was to get a message to Crystal.
mhm,
And Crystal, that message came across clear, defendable, defiable. She knew what it is that went wrong, and she knew she better fix it, or the next time there would not be her hanging above the fire trying to get away.
Mm-hmm.
um Charlotte knew that that was the best way to go at Crystal, but she knew the best way to go at Nathaniel and Miss Felicia. Is that a
Katrina.
name?
Katrina.
Katrina. Miss Katrina. See,
Bye, Felicia.
she's not a real character for me yet because I haven't written her story yet. But she knew where to go to hurt them. And it wasn't anything physical. Killing them would have been too easy. And no, you
Oh, they're
come
gonna die a slow death anyway when they really come to realize
when
what
they
she's
really
fighting
come to
for.
realize things, right? So Charlotte, that when she walked in that room and she saw how hurt Hayden was, how angry he was, how mad he was, and he saw that her daughter Audrey was trying to fix things or at least settle things down.
Mm-hmm.
Her children should not have been put in that position,
Right,
not by
right.
him, not
Mm-hmm.
by their father.
And I think with the father too, I guess I didn't understand. Well, I understand, I would have thought he would have been like this. Like, okay, so we got a situation. But he seemed to have felt like he had to take her side,
He
Egypt's
did,
side.
and I don't want to go too far into that because I
Mhm,
really want people to read that part to understand the dynamics of this whole thing because that's going to play into another story,
okay.
right? But he he just for whatever reason did not have, to me, the same level of caring about the children he had with Charlotte as he did with this other child.
Okay. Well, who do you guys think is going to be more inclined to continue a relationship with the father, or do you think they both just going to throw up their hands and say, "Deuces, I'm out"?
I think all of them, when all of them, I think they made it clear.
You don't think Audrey would go back? I kind of feel like Audrey might. I don't know.
I think his biggest problem is Audrey.
Well, that's for sure. And
I
so
think,
is Brett's
I think his,
biggest
I
problem
was going
too.
to say, I think his biggest problem and Brett Dort's biggest problem is Audrey Raines.
Okay.
Is Audrey Raines.
Well, guys, our time is almost out. And I wanted to give you all a little bit of taste, but I really just didn't want to go into a huge discussion because hopefully Iris will come back and well, we could just really throw the lid off the can and just let it go fly with that. But I hope you have enjoyed a little bit of this. And again, Iris has a couple more stops on your tour, right? With this, I know
Yes,
you're going to be
we're gonna be with Shay on release eve.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
On release day eve on the 5th, we're gonna be with Shay. And then the week after that, we're gonna be with Cyrus Webb
yeah.
on
Okay.
his radio show, and then we're gonna be on his Amazon show as well. So we'll get to talk a little bit more in depth about this story. But I hope tonight we've given you enough for people to at least be um, receptive. Thank you for that word, Antoinette. At least be receptive to go out there and tell people to pre-order the book. Go out there on Amazon and pre-order the book um, from there because now it's we're trying to cross over into another genre, and it takes those people seeing it out there on Amazon and seeing reviews out there on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles and places like that in order for them to be curious enough to go in and get this book. So if you guys would please, those who have not gotten it, Go out there and pre-order it from Amazon. And then when you do get a chance to read it, if you're so inclined, leave a review about it. Those reviews help independent authors with reaching what we call organic readers or organic people who don't know who Iris Bolling is. They've never read an Iris Bolling book, and we want to give them an opportunity to go out there and read one.
And also too, guys, if you are so inclined to do a review, which we hope you are, when you do that review, don't just put it on Amazon, put it on Barnes and Nobles, Kobo, Google, BookBub, if you can find the book on there. I know Iris
Mhm.
is connected with BookBub, and then all the place where the books are sold, just drop
Yeah,
a review there.
put those reviews everywhere. And if you're not following me on BookBuds, please go out there and do so. Those followings really does help when we try to get BookBud ads and different things like that.
Mhm.
So at midnight, thank you for that. I know some of you have left reviews on Backlash on my website, and I thank you so much. But when you get a chance, please make sure that you put those reviews in those other locations
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. And then on the website too, because it's good too, because as
Yes,
she's getting more traffic to the website, sometimes that might be the only review they see. So just drop that review everywhere the books are sold, and that way we will hit everything. So
that is true.
before we go, we're going to give away an audio book of International Affair. And
Yes,
guys, I want to also, just as a good book buddy that I am, when you are reading or listening to these audiobooks, I caution you, when you hit play, please have some earbuds in your ears or someplace where you are alone. Because sometimes what I've noticed is these books are starting out with some heat and then it gets to the business. So just please be by yourself, and don't let somebody get in your car when you've listened to your phone and it stops. Soon as you start that car, then you're gonna hear that stuff in there. Just please be careful. Now that's all I got to say about that. So okay, so Iris,
yes,
again, we just seems to be the easiest way to do this when we're on these chats like this, is just to kind of comb through the comments. It's easy and we can get on to the business of talking. So we're going to do that one more time with Iris, although she's going to be telling me when to stop. Okay.
okay.
All right, let me
All
tell
right.
you when I
This
go.
is for an international affair with Mr. Winston James. And one day I'm gonna find a way to reach out to him and just thank him. And Tandor Media for giving us the opportunity to get our books on audio. So I want to give a shout out to them. And Midnight, you can stop.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Okay.
LaShawn again. Oh,
No.
wait a minute,
Did,
did Kismet win before?
wait, did she?
No,
Nope,
it
not
was
yet.
Vita.
No, yep. It was Pam, it was LaShawn, and we got Ola.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Congratulations, Kismet. You're going to get
Congratulations.
an international affair.
And some of you will probably still have an opportunity to win, because I'm going to do uh some random picks from there too. So if you did not win in time of the chat, have no fear. We're going to have some more giveaways afterwards, and I will let you know on Facebook or something. I'll tag you on Facebook or something like that. So there's still an opportunity to win. I want to thank you.
Somebody said, don't burn dinner while listening. No, don't do that, guys. When
Oh,
you
that was
listen, when
that was
you listen,
was that Martha that said that?
Martha said that. She said,
Yeah.
don't burn dinner while listening.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. Congratulations, Kismet.
Congratulations. Hey, Miss Joyce, how are you? It's so good to see you. I was just
Hey,
thinking about
Joy.
you today. I was thinking
I
about
didn't
you
see her
today.
out. I didn't know she was out there.
Yeah, I think she just popped in. I think we missed her. Uh,
Oh
oh my
no.
gosh.
Oh
Oh my
no.
God.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Vita. Vita said she
Oh,
forgot. She said, I forgot to put my headphones in at work while listening to an international affair, and my coworker looked at me funny. Yeah, I
Well,
can
and if
imagine.
yeah, you can understand why. So please listen, this is why I'm cautioning you guys. I'm not just saying with international affair. I'm saying it for Pendleton Rule. I'm saying it for Blake. I am saying it for any one of our Sherelle Green's books. Please just be on the safe side, put those earbuds in, and then go from there. Now, whether or not you want to take it out later, that's all. But I'm just telling you, you've been warned. I've done my duty as a book buddy.
Well, I'm going to tell you, every one of the Lassiter wedding books start with heat. I'm just going to let you know up front. So the first 5 minutes or so, you may want to have those earbuds in or
Yeah,
something.
or something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, we're glad you off from work. We hope you have a great weekend, and thank you so much for just spending a few minutes with us, coming in here. We
Yes.
like that. So Joyce, if you have not seen, if you would please go out and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is at Midnight Ace Book Bar 1984. Go ahead and do that now, and then you will be put in the pool to win a gift.
Hmm.
JB
And let
said,
me let me answer something before Miss Prissy claimed we didn't read her question or answer it about Jerome.
oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if Jerome is going to show up. I don't know yet. Um, I don't know yet about Jerome, so I can't say that he would be a part of it. But I can tell you those four ladies, those four women, are going to be a part of putting the army together, and it is going to be an army
Okay, so you know what? Now this is the perfect time, y'all. We gonna be some tea drinking women, honey. Let me tell you.
because they was drinking the tea,
They was drinking the tea,
the
and
tea with the
listen,
brandy.
and well, here, this is Nate Rain's drink. This is what I'm drinking today.
That's true.
This is
I'm
Nate Rain's
sorry.
drink.
I have that too, but I am actually drinking Stella Rosa
You love
brandy.
which brandy are you drinking in
I
that?
have the peach.
Oh, you have the peach.
I
Okay.
got the peach brandy. Hmm.
Well, I am drinking Douce. It is very, very good. I've had a it's been a weird week, guys, and I don't know. It's just been weird. I don't know.
It's
So
been a very crazy week, and if you follow my work, you follow my writings, you know that I try to stay abreast of what's happening in our political realm, and I am going to suggest that you guys just watch what's happening in your state. Um, we're trading into some interesting times. It's not times that we haven't been through before because we have been through all of this before. Um, but when they overturn affirmative action, and when they say that today that yeah, this website designer don't have to design a website for a gay couple. Um, Next thing you're gonna know is they're gonna say, I don't want to serve you in my bar because your skin is black. We have been there before.
yeah, yeah.
Look for it to happen more and more now because of what was passed today by the Supreme Court. So
Mm.
don't think it's going to stop with gay folks because it's not. They're coming after anybody that is not like them. And that's the bottom line. So
Mm.
stay woke.
Mm. And Iris, so what? Let me ask you this. This is back to just you, okay?
Okay.
Um, so what is something readers would be surprised to know about you?
Oh, surprised to know about me?
Something we
Um,
can't get on Google or from www.irisbolin.com.
um, I think one thing people would be surprised to know just how much of an introvert I really am. I
Oh,
am I am one of those people. Yeah, I love people. I love being around um people, but it takes a lot of energy out of me. to be around a lot of people for long periods of time. When I go to book events, it usually takes me a week to get balanced again. Because
Wow.
when I'm out there at book events, I'm Iris the writer, and I'm not gonna say I'm on stage, but I have to be aware that people are um, looking at me as a public person, and so I represent a brand, and
Yeah.
I have to represent that brand. Now, most of what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. But I'm also that person that can sit down, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get at this computer and start writing. And 6 o'clock at night, I forgot that I haven't had breakfast, I haven't had lunch. I might not have even got up and gotten in the shower that morning. I made something may have hit my mind, and I'm, right at it, and I can do that for days and days and days in a row and have no problem with it whatsoever. So I think I
Love it.
think some people would be surprised that I am an introvert, and I think some people would be surprised that I'm a pretty intelligent person. I have a lot of insight, um, pretty good insight into things. I may not share them all the time unless they piss me off. If they piss me off about something,
And then we got a new
then
release.
you got a whole nother series of books that you're gonna get, you know, about that. Um, but I think that would be the I think that would be the most surprising thing people, would find. LaShawn knows. LaShawn would come to my house. LaShawn would come to my house, and she'd be like, "Have you eaten? Did you do this? Did you do that?" Because she knows.
Mm-mm.
Because she knows. I will. Just get up here and get to writing, and I'm okay. And I love my doggy, my Roxy Poo. I don't know how Roxy is going to handle things later, but I love my Roxy Poo.
I know, I know, I
Yeah.
know. So Joyce says she received her hardback copy. She says thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And okay, so Iris, what's next for you?
Next is so much going on, guys. Oh my God. We have another audiobook about to drop.
Mhm.
That's a risky affair. That's gonna drop in August. And again, huge shout out to Tandor Media
Yes, yes.
for giving me an opportunity to get my stories on Audible books. So we have that coming out. Winston James will be doing that one as well. He's, as a matter of fact, he will be doing all four of the wedding books. So shout out to Winston James. Winston James. One day I hope to meet him,
Mhm.
just to thank him in person. We have siblings. That's the book that I'm working on right now. Um, I am thoroughly enjoying. I'm enjoying it too much, to be honest with you. I need
I can't
to.
imagine why, but go ahead.
I, I'm enjoying this one. So I'm writing siblings, and some people are going to show up that you didn't anticipate because I didn't anticipate them. I also have another Christmas book coming out. Yes, we are finished with the Lassiters. However, we still have a couple of Brooks books out there that needs to be done. And so we're going to have Taylor and Jason is going to be our Christmas book. And what did I name it? I renamed it because the other name wasn't working for me. And the name of this book is going to be Closer to My Dream. So
Ooh.
we
Mhm.
have that going on. And then in January or February, I think it's February, we are going to have Convergence, the next book in the Nate Rain
Green series.
series.
Yes,
And
yes.
then after that, you're going to get the first book in the administration.
I feel like we already know the administration, but then
Ooh,
I
girl.
know I know it's so much more to come.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. So we have that going on as well.
God,
Um,
y'all hearing all of this?
huh?
I said, are they hearing all of this? That's a lot.
Hey, listen, I do want to give a shout out to all of the ladies that worked on the Babes of Juneteenth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to name all of them. I hope I don't miss anyone, but we have Sherelle, we have Elle, we have Cheryl Lister, we have Kelsey Green, we have Aja, we have Kimmy Farrell, we have AC Arthur, we have Sharon C. Cooper, we have Tina Martin and Angela Seals.
Look at
Did
you.
I get did I get
You got
everybody?
'em all. Yes, you did.
Please go out and support each of the ladies that worked on the Juneteenth project. And also, when you get a chance, wish Sharon C. Cooper and Kelsey Green a happy belated birthday because they had birthdays that came out
Yeah.
last week. So wish them happy birthdays and support the project. I think you would be surprised. I think you would really be surprised when you go in and read those stories. Um, just how much of a treat they are. They really are. So go out there and support them.
Yeah. Treat yourself for the 4th of July. Just keep on
Yes.
celebrating the Juneteenth. I
Just
got a
keep
sign
on
hanging up
celebrating
on that.
Juneteenth. There you
I got a
go.
sign up on my door. It's gonna stay up there to after the 4th of July. Um, all right. So Iris, okay, so is it anything you want to leave us with? Tell them where they
Nita,
can find.
yes, you are going to get some more of Avery Brooks' story. If you guys haven't caught that little story that I did, it's on my website. It's still up there. It's going to be going down because I'm actually about to put another one up there about another of our what I call our parental characters that will be coming up there next. So that's just a little treat that you have that I'm putting on my website, and it's only on my website. Oh, guess what? Starting tomorrow, guys, I forgot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Starting tomorrow, um, people have been asking me to put the Dunning series, the Dunning trilogy, into a box set. Well, the Dunning trilogy is now in a box set. It is exclusively on my website, and until July the 23rd, this is my birthday gift to you guys. Until July the 23rd, you can get that entire box set, which is 3 full-length books for $9.99. So the Dunning trilogy is on my website. It's on sale right now until July the 23rd, which is the day after my birthday. So at midnight on my birthday, it's going to come off sale. So it's on sale on my wife's website exclusively, 3 full-length books for $9.99, which
N-
is the price of one ebook these days.
Now, Iris, is that digital or book form?
Those are ebooks.
Ebooks.
Those are ebooks. It's the whole ebook set for $9.99.
And guys, and this is a chance for you guys. If you haven't read it, this you'll find out. You'll meet Winnie in Backlash, and now you'll know her story, and how she's able to do what
What
she's
she
doing.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're
okay.
welcome, Brenda. And Brenda, I am going to send you, Midnight, please write that down. I need to send Brenda a journal because she says she does not have a Nate Range journal. And I think I still have some here. So I want to send her one.
Okay, cool. Okay. Speaking of journals too, inspired by Brenda Larnell, when I first released the Book Buddy journal, if you have a copy, it has wine for wine tastings if you're a wine lover, because my niche is just to pair wines with books. And then it has places in there where you can do book reviews. So I did a version 2 that just came in today, where there is just review pages. So if you have not gotten a Book Buddy journal and you would like to just have one with just review pages and no wine pages, let me show you. The first version is like this. It has your review pages here, if you can see that. And then I have a section in here for those wine lovers who like to taste wine. So you have that in there. So version two just has these pages in there with a number of the other activities in the back too. Those stayed. So those just came in today. So if you haven't got one and you want one, just tell me if you want only review pages or if you want to try your hand at some wine note tastings. I think the wine note tastings are fun, but if you want,
Cheryl, it is Cheryl wants you to know where they could find the short story on Avery Brooks. It is on my website underneath of extra.
okay,
Just go underneath the extra
tab.
tab. Guys, when it comes to the book buddy, you really want that for any book, not just for my books, but this is a wonderful way to keep tabs on your reviews and the different books that you've read and things of that nature. So get yourself a copy of that
Yeah,
book buddy. It's a wonderful tool for any reader to have, for any reader.
yeah. I hope so because it was designed by one of us for all of us. So thank you for
There
that,
you go.
Iris. So yeah, so and my website is www.midnight8bookbar.com/shop for those of you all who want that. So
Mhm.
Iris, let everybody know where to find you at.
Well, you can find me on my main place to go is my website, and just put in irisbowling.com and you're gonna go it's gonna take you to my website. Also, we haven't mentioned this, but I do want to mention Raw 2024 Brown Book Series. Raw event is something you do not want to miss. So if you have not registered to attend Raw, you're missing out on something. I'm telling you from experience. So when you get a chance, go out there to Brown Book Series. There's a tab out there for Raw, and register for Raw. I'm gonna be there, and I'm going to try to behave myself.
Mm,
Um,
why? Why for?
this time, because we'll have Shay, who's going to be out there enough for all of us. So I'm going to try to behave. But if you haven't registered for Raw, please go out there and register for it. I think you're going to have a wonderful time. Um, I know I
Absolutely.
did.
Yeah,
I know I
I
did.
do too.
It's a different experience. It
Mm,
is not your mother's book conference. It's a different experience. So,
yes, yes. I think
there
you
you
will
go.
enjoy it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I am, thank you, Velva and Brenda Larnell. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also want to thank Iris Bolin, Sherelle Green, Elle Wright, and Delaney Diamond for donating the gifts that you guys are receiving today. So again, I will be choosing some random winners after this. So just be stay tuned. I'll tag you on Facebook. When I do tag you, please let me know right away what it is that you want because it'll 24 to 48 hours and then you lose out. Sorry, just saying. Uh, but anyway, so and I can be reached at www Midnight Ace Book Bar for my reviews and for my shop for anything for custom creations. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. And again, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more over there, especially with interviews and talking. I'm kind of getting away from Facebook just a little bit. So make sure you subscribing to that and hit the bell for the notifications so that you know when I do go live. I have coming up next on July 7th, I will be hosting L Wright and we are going to be talking about Duke Young, part of the Young series. You know, we've been waiting on that. It wasn't what we expected, so we got to talk about that. So come on back here. That will be Zoom because it's going to be a true chat. So I don't know if I'm going to be streaming just yet. So you'll find notifications about that coming out this weekend. So stay tuned for that. And I think that is it. You guys go out and have a wonderful weekend. Be encouraged and be kind.
Mhm. Stay woke.
That too.
Yes.
Just just a little something I had designed there. So, okay, guys, have a great one. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you guys for coming.
Mhm.